So I started my trip already on 2 days ago, and I actually had a night to myself in Istanbul because I wanted to get here early for the gala yesterday. But then obviously, because of the situation, all the flights were cancelled. So when I tried to get my flight yesterday, it was the worst chaos I've ever seen at an airport.
So tell us about the movie. What's the title?
The title of my film is Family Stories Untold.
It is animation.
It is live action and animation.
Okay. So tell us about the movie and how it all began.
Well, it all began actually 2017. I think, yes. I was making my first short film actually. So I had this idea of a woman that she's had kids, but she's finding it super difficult. And back then it was still a taboo subject also back home. Now it's not so much. But anyway, so I started making short stories with women who tell unconventional or maybe not such pleasant stories about family life and different types of relations with your own kids, with your partner, or with your parents, or then like the parents' relationship with their grown-up children when they're old, etc. So kind of things that make you a little bit uncomfortable, I think, when you step out of this ideal family of like the man and the woman, the happy marriage and the kids and the and also how kind of how this, it's also about like women. It's all women, and I think through my film you will see this, what maybe a woman's life is like in Finland or has been traditionally, and how you pass on the traditions to your children and how it goes on and on and on. This kind of thing.
Okay, and is it international movie because of this? It's in Lebanon now.
Well, it's in Finnish, of course. Well, not of course, but it is in Finnish, and it's definitely, I would say, aimed at an international audience. And actually, originally, I thought first I'll make a series or a few stories about women in Finland, and then maybe I can make stories about women in other countries. And I was hoping that through seeing my film, these women all over the world would see what it's like in Finland, and maybe it would give them some ideas, because Finland's supposed to be quite liberal, so maybe something like this. So, but I haven't got there yet, asking other women how they see it.
Okay, so, and why did you choose to be an animated and live action?
Well, originally it was because all the women are anonymous, because they are difficult stories. They don't want to be recognized, so it's with actors.
Okay.
And I initially started using animation as a way to cover up the identity. So I covered
So it's not the first time you do this. You have.
Well, no, I've been doing it for years. But so there's many stories in this film that I've been collecting over the years. But really, it started off with trying to cover up the faces. But then I realized I could do so much more with the animation. But I would say my film isn't very easy to watch, So it's not like a light, happy film in a way. So what I'm trying with the film is to make people maybe step out of their own comfort zone and look at themselves. How do I behave in relationships? What kind of a partner am I? What kind of a mother am I, or sister, or brother? Whatever. Or how do I treat my parents when they're old? So I really would like the viewer to reflect on their own life, and because I think we can all work on ourselves.
Did you make a research about the Lebanese woman, maybe, or something like that?
Not particularly Lebanese, no.
Okay. Arab people.
I do have some idea of, like, I lived in Paris for a few years, and my husband's not Finnish, he's from Mexico, so I'm kind of very into like other cultures, and I do read a lot, and I've traveled a lot and lived in a lot of places, but I have never been to the Middle East before. So my knowledge is limited, but I still have some idea.
I think it would be interesting to you to know Arab women how would reflect to the movie, because it's different culture, and I think maybe some movies you will watch movies, of course.
Of course.
Maybe some Lebanese movies about women would give you maybe a little bit something interesting. And one more question. Why did you choose cinema?
That's a very difficult question.
Yes.
Okay, so I think I'm quite visual, but I still want to tell stories that aren't just limited to an image. Is that a good enough answer?
I think there's more, because how cinema reflects life is something unique for someone to see. Not all people can see this. And from your vision as a writer and as a director, of course you would give an advice for because there is a lot of filmmakers, young filmmakers here, and maybe this will help them to see your point of view.
Well, as I said, like if you need, when you make cinema, you really have to think, why is this not for the radio? I don't know. This is very technical, but I always think of that when I make films. I'm not making a radio show. I'm making a film. So there needs to be a dialogue something needs to happen between the image and the sound, and there needs to be a motivation for both of them being there. I don't know. Is that what you were looking for?
Yes.
And also, of course, I think cinema is it's very strong, because you'll have maybe a painting. I mean, I don't say it's less strong, but it's not as multidimensional as cinema, of course, because you have image and sound. So you really have to think about what you're doing when you have both. It's complex. No?
Yes. Thank you for that. It was a pleasure for me to meet you, and hope you the best in the competition after all. And at what time the movie will be shown?
I think it's just finishing soon now, so I think you missed it.
I missed it?
Yes.
Okay, I will check it. I will check it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say, sorry, that the one thing you mentioned about women here, that I would that it would be really, really interesting for me to find out more about women here. So I really am looking forward to seeing these films, so that I get their version of the world. Yeah.
Maybe.
No? We'll see. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Antoine.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.